All right. Good morning. I'm Teddy, and you are listening to MessyMocha. So come on in, grab a cup of coffee, tea, whatever you are having, and join me this morning. It is Danny Robertson, more allegations of copyright fraud. We're going to get right into it. In case you missed it last night over on X, Instagram, and Facebook, we listened to the town hall where Vice President Kamala Harris and Cooper, that's his name, from CNN, took questions from the audience there in Pennsylvania. So you can go and take a look at the full audio over on X. Shout out to my moderators, Vicky Black, Baby Juju. I'm not looking at the comments section just yet. And the election day is only 11 days away. Here in the U.S., they're in the middle. Danielle Robertson explained this 9 hours, 26 minutes, and 30 seconds. I think there is a response due, has to do with that Whitney S. Uh, fake YouTube fraudulent copyright. Okay. So this one has to do with something else. I missed Kimmy Love podcast yesterday. I missed her video, but I see that she showed some information from the CCB. Someone else has filed, uh, I guess, against this counterclaim. So apparently, this YouTuber struck Danielle Robertson. Danielle Robertson, in her historic following, always filed a counterclaim, and in it, this time it appears that she used an attorney by name. But the claimant has put in the document that there's just something fraudulent about it. They suspect. I'm going to read from that. We're going to go over it quickly. And I'm also going to show, well, it's up. Let's just do it. Okay. So this amended claim, by the way, this is fair use commentary. This is fair use commentary for education, criticism, news reporting, and entertainment purposes only. This is filed with the Copyright Claims Board there in Washington, D.C. So this has been an ongoing case, just like CCB, that I have been involved with this same party, Robertson. This is the case detail for the body. So yesterday it was updated on 10/23. Is it? Yes, 10/24. It was updated and amended. So I'm going to go over that. The name of the claimant is Villa Bose O Body. We'll just say Body. They're in Inglewood, California. Authorized representative information. And would you like to proceed as a smaller claims? They answered yes. We're going to get right back to this. Hang on. Let's throw this up for a moment so that you know what we are going to be talking about. Let me come out real quick. You can email me right now at unwindwithteddy@gmail.com. I am not unfamiliar with the fraud that Danielle Robertson has committed against Unwind with Teddy, RunTellThatToo, and copyright strikes or copyright claims. So, by the way, if someone says a statement for it to be defamation, all right, it has to be a false statement. So, Danielle Robertson, you just can't go around and saying that Unwind with Teddy is defaming your name, because no. What I'm showing, what I'm talking about is true. It's true. It's not even just an allegation where I'm coming from. All right. Now, I know if an allegation is true, it is not considered defamatory. It's truth. However, okay, in the courts, as truth is a complete defense to a defamation claim. So, if you have a claim to bring it. Defamation, it has to be false. In addition to that, published or spoken to others, the statement must be communicated to third party, and the false statement must harm the person's reputation, causing financial loss or emotional distress. Now, opposite to that, I absolutely know that Danielle Robertson has defamed my name. But today we are talking about this particular copyright claim and more allegations of falsification. And even if you read the document, even forgery of a signature. Let me tell you why. If this, hang on for just a second. We're going to put some music on because I have got to quiet it down in the background. Just hang on. All right, so I think we've got it now. Turn the music back down. So I was talking about defamation and what it means. All right. So, as a way to set this up, I was talking about this claimant on this CCB who is also alleging that Daniel Robertson's attorney, quote unquote, is possibly, I'm just going to say, fraudulent. That's not even real. Because they have said in the statement to the CCB, and I'll read it, that they haven't been able to when they've spoken with this individual or this law firm, they don't have any record of the case. Let's just put it like that. I can absolutely believe it. Because if this person has never dealt with Daniel Robertson, this is just something that she might do. I'll put it like that. But if it is found that that were true, and I'm going to put it like that, guess what? That would be also forgery, because there is a letter that says it's an electronic signature. Consider it an electronic signature of this attorney. So you mean impersonating an attorney, if that's true, falsifying a document to impersonate an attorney, that's a serious crime. And that can lead to significant legal penalties, depending on the jurisdiction. But in general, that kind of offense would involve multiple charges, including forgery, fraud, and impersonation. Those penalties would be severe. Criminal charges, forgery, creating or altering a document with the intent to deceive is considered forgery. That's what it is. That's how you define it. Creating or altering a document with the intent to deceive is considered forgery. That can be charged as either a misdemeanor or a felony, depending on the severity of the act and the jurisdiction. For misdemeanor forgery, that may result in up to 1 year in jail and fines. Felony forgery can lead to 5 to 10 years in prison and substantial fines, often ranging from $10,000 to $100,000. Impersonation of an attorney, pretending to be a licensed attorney, especially through falsified documents, is typically a felony. This can include charges like fraudulent impersonation or practicing law without a license. The penalties can range up to 5 years in prison or more, depending on the state. And the fines can range from $5,000 to $50,000 and up. Then there's civil liability. The person who falsifies documents to impersonate an attorney can be subject to civil lawsuits if the impersonation causes harm or financial loss to others. The individual could face lawsuits for damages leading to significant financial penalties. How about federal offenses? If the falsification involves federal documents or affects federal matters, i.e., cases in federal courts, the penalty could escalate under federal law, including harsher sentences and fines. Loss of rights and reputation. Convictions for forgery or impersonation can result in a criminal record, affecting future employment, professional license, and overall reputation. Additionally, the person may face further legal consequences if they defraud a client or business. California, by the way, since this is what you're going to see here, forgery or forging documents in California or impersonating an attorney is punishable by up to 3 years in prison and fines. In New York, it's greater. It can lead to 7 years in prison for a felony conviction. So then falsifying a document, if that's found to be true, to impersonate an attorney, it's serious. Can be a very serious offense, both criminal and civil. There's penalties, prison time, heavy fines, potential lawsuits, depending on the nature of fraud. So we are talking about this again. We're talking about Daniel Robertson again, because Daniel Robertson has a history with copyright, fraudulent copyright, as recently as last week. And it's piling up. So we're going to get into this particular claim. Let me see if I have any questions so far. And then we're just, I'm just jumping right into it, guys. I am. Okay. Let me come out real quick. You can email me again at unwindwithteddy@gmail.com. We are live right now on Instagram, X, Facebook, and here on YouTube. Thank you, Vicki Black. Okay. Because some of you may have missed it, and I missed it too. So I looked up my own this morning. Okay. Let's see some of these comments. So now most of you are out in the bushes. That's right. Let's see. We've got Spirit says it's true for sure. Jag and her boyfriend contacted the attorney while live. Dear robot, you are in danger, girl. Does anyone have that receipt? Well, YouTube would have it, right? I missed that because I don't watch Jaguar Right that often. But if what you are saying is true, do you recall if whoever contacted that attorney during the live, were they able to speak with an attorney, confirm that it was that law firm? And how were they able to draw the conclusion that this attorney was unfamiliar or this law firm wasn't handling this case? If you know. All right, so I have got blessed. Let me just keep going down. That's right. We just have a handful in the chat. We have about 95% of you in the bushes, unless, let me just look. And one over on Facebook. So we've got 59 people watching and maybe 4 in the bushes. That's fine. A watch on. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Spirit says the robot took Jack's channel down shortly thereafter. The attorney spoke with them both directly. How about that? Well, you want to see where this attorney's name? Hey, let's just jump to it. Can't we just do it? Okay. I'm going to show you an email that was sent by this so-called attorney as the counter notification. All right. This is fair use commentary. This is to YouTube copyright. That's right. YouTube copyright. They're familiar with you, Danielle. Wait a minute. Let's blow this up. Yeah, they're already familiar with Danielle. She's getting a history, and I'm going to make it so you can see it. Yeah, when I read it on Kimmy's, I needed to. Yeah. So here you go. We're going to read this. We're going to read this part together. So this is what the attorney, Robert Reed, full legal name, agent for the service of process on behalf of Danny Robertson, email address redacted for Danny Robertson. Physical address, the law office of Robert Reed on 16530 Ventura Boulevard, Suite 310, Encino, California, 91436, and a telephone number. It reads, sent by email. First of all, let's look at this date. In this email, this attorney would have typed this date at the head of this letter. September 7, 2024. Interesting. There's some comments being made about it at 9:58. Sent by email only. They would type that. and then they would put in copyright at YouTube, and it turns blue because, well, it's a link. DMCA complaints. YouTube Google LLC at 901 Cherry Avenue, San Bruno, California, 94066. Dear Sir or Madam, please be advised that I have been retained by YouTube user channel Danny Robertson to act as agent for service of process and to file this counter to the DMC filed recently on the video and its name. So again, this attorney retained allegedly by Danny Robertson to file this counter. This individual goes on to say, valid reason for filing content. Danny Robertson, hereinafter referred to as objector, through his or her agent for service of process, asserts that the DMC filer misidentified all in caps content at issue. The entirety of the alleged infringing content is fair use. Objector is the creator and owner of the content uploaded. Use of clips, if any, did not contain the entirety of the videos clipped, and the creation of the clips required substantial effort and work on the part of the objector. The clips used, if any, were provided for educational purposes, for commentary, and for criticism. These all fall under the fair use exception. It's almost a boilerplate that I have seen before. Let's just snatch out a few different names, but that phrasing is quite familiar. Full legal name. I've read it. The attorney at that address. Identification of specific URLs affected. Again, that's Robert Reed. YouTube user Danny Robertson agrees to the jurisdiction of the federal district court. So this is federal. For the district in which my address is located, or if my address is outside of the United States, the judicial district in which YouTube is located, and will accept service of process from the claimant. Statement to the claimant. The removal of the videos was a mistake and or maliciously filed because the entirety of the content is de facto fair use. Danny Robertson is the owner and creator of the content uploaded, and the clips of your content used were provided for educational purposes and for commentary and criticism. I wonder if this pseudo attorney, quasi or alleged to be real, if he knows that his client creates bogus copyright claims, and when someone else responds about fair use, educational purposes, and commentary, criticism on their videos, she strikes them. Let's continue. Danny Robertson, my client, and I swear under penalty of perjury that Danny Robertson has good faith belief that the material was removed or disabled as a result of a mistake or misidentification of the material to be removed or disabled. Any questions, do not hesitate to contact me at my office. Here's the contact number. Now, it says, very truly yours, Robert A. Reed, Esquire, on behalf of the counter filer. Consider this the required electronic signature. So, if this is not Robert Reed and this is not his signature, then who forged it? Who forged this document? Because there are severe penalties if that is found to be true. Now, let's get back to what I was going to put up, this amended claim. Okay. So we know who the claimant, the respondent, Danny Robertson or Daniel Robertson, infringed claim works. Kwame Brown explosive interview with Jaguar Wright. He's the author. The co-owners, Wolfgang Body. Infringement claim, wrongful activities. Publicly displayed the work. Is the infringement ongoing? Actually, it is yes, because the video is still up, if that is true. The infringement dates from 9/6/2024 through 9/9/2024. Now, keep in mind, when something goes to the CCB, if a counterclaim is filed, okay, goes to the CCB, the claimant then files, responses, and YouTube, instead of removal while it's illegal, YouTube will allow. Now, why is that video back up? I've got to think about that for a moment. They don't receive a strike. But until the claim has been resolved, that video doesn't go back up. I know that was the case for one of my videos that she struck and was on several on CCB. They were not allowed to be put up until it was resolved. I don't think this is resolved. Let me continue. Are any of the respondents online? Yes. Service providers, are you bringing a claim against the online service provider due to their storage or referral of the linking to infringing material posted by others? The answer is no. Description of harm suffered and relief sought, reputational harm and loss of income. Non-infringement claim, works respondent says you have infringed the type of work. We read that title. Kwame Brown explosive interview with Jaguar Wright. Has the work been registered by the Copyright Office? Unknown. Description of the work, podcast. Party asserting infringement is Danny Robertson. Type of the work or type of work is sound recording. Non-infringement claim, allegedly infringing activities. Respondents' right allegedly involved. Public display of the work. Are the allegedly infringing activities ongoing? Yes. Dates of the allegedly infringing activities, 9/5 through the present. So that was updated, amended. Describe the allegedly infringing activity. YouTube used content that's owned by Villa Lobos, Body and Wolfgang's production. Where did the activities occur? Online lists any other individuals or organizations involved. Danny Robertson. Describe the dispute with respondents. Danny Robertson claims to have a copyright to the content I publish and produce, and that isn't true. Describe why you believe no infringement occurred. Because podcast was played on her channel for financial gain and to ruin reputation. Misrepresentation claim, wrongful activities. Who sent the DMCA takedown notice? Daniel Robertson. What online services providers received the DMC takedown notice? YouTube.com. List the dates. We've got August 29th, 2024, that they were sent. Describe the content of the takedown. Clip of podcast produced by my organization where any counter notices sent. Yes. Who sent the counter notice? Danielle Robertson. What online service providers received the counter notice? YouTube.com. List dates, counter notices that were sent August the 29th, 2024. Now, I will slow down here a bit. Let me just look at the chat real quick. We've got 67 out there somewhere. Most of you are in the bushes. Wait a minute. Okay, let's looking at an email. Just want to respond real quick to that. Yes, Cat Mac wants to know, is this against someone else and robot? Yes. This is the individual Vela Lobos bone. Okay. So again, this goes to multiple complaints of copyright infringement. All right. That's what it is. This is a repeated pattern by Danielle Robertson. We're going to say alleged here. It's still being, I guess you could say, litigated or described here, updated through the CCB. Okay, this is the game that she plays. It's called delay. No, it's called false copyright strike, fraudulent copyright strike, respond. All right. These are all her different patterns. Sometimes she strikes, sometimes her channel is struck. Then she, in this case, filed a counterclaim and used an attorney who allegedly, this is allegedly, their response online, they don't know this person. They have nothing to do with the case. Well, I've got their phone number, and you know what? California time, it's 8 o'clock, 8:06. I wonder if somebody else would want to talk to this attorney. Yeah. Get it on record. All right. So here it is. Describe the content of the counter notice. The counterclaim is dated September 7th, 2024. I showed you that. 6 days prior to the filing of my lawsuit. That would be the CCB. This timeline raises significant concerns of fraud and manipulation, as the lawsuit had not yet been filed by September 7th, 2024. It would have been impossible for a legitimate response to exist at that time. If all that's true. Again, if this is a bogus counterclaim written by a bogus attorney, it's easy to fudge. Just put a date on top of your letterhead. That's easy to do. Again, remember, Danielle Robertson, who is the respondent or objector in this, has a known history of falsifying legal documents when it comes to YouTube. I don't trust her at all. It's more likely than not that it's her, that it is her, than it's not. This has all her hallmarks of Danielle Robertson. This is her MO. This is how she moves. She has put together fraudulent accounts, fraudulent websites, fraudulent social media pages, fraud after fraud after fraud after fraud after fraud. And yes, I have receipts. Somebody had the goal, and you can come into the chat or you can come in to the post to say, well, where's receipt number 2 or 3? This individual doesn't even believe receipt 1 when it's in black and white. So I responded to that individual, be specific for the receipt that you are requesting to be shown. Okay? I know, wild, wild west. Let's continue. Again, this timeline raises significant concerns of fraud and manipulation, as the lawsuit had not yet been filed by September 7, 2024. It would have been impossible for a legitimate response to exist at that time. I believe this discrepancy is a deliberate attempt to mislead the legal process, and I am currently in contact with the FBI to issue a subpoena duces to come to investigate this matter further. Moreover, I reached out to the attorney who was supposedly retained by Ms. Robertson, and they confirmed that they have no recollection of being engaged for this case. This reinforces my concern that Ms. Robertson may be engaging in fraudulent activities by falsely claiming legal representation in an effort to intimidate or stall the legal proceedings. Again, Danielle Robertson has said that she has no limits, that she will not be found, that who's going to check her boo? Unchecked power. If you listen to Kamala Harris last night on stage, okay, with Anderson Cooper, the phrase that came up, unchecked power. Is that what Trump will get? Unchecked power? As soon as she said that, a light went on. Unchecked power. Who gonna check me, boo? That is Danielle Robertson's as well. Unchecked power, unchecked intimidation, unchecked control. Right out of her playbook. Who gonna check me, boo? Well, you've been checked multiple times, but she doesn't think so. In other words, for those of you who are late to the party, Danielle Robertson has said she always, not sometimes, not most of the time, she said, I always win. Winning at the expense of cheating, winning at the expense of fraud, winning at the expense of harming other individuals' reputation, winning at all costs. It's all about winning. There's nothing else about Danielle Robertson, but winning. And she doesn't care which revenger eventually she will throw up under the bus, back the bus up. Okay? Kind of like the Joker. You know, in the movie. Ledger. What? I'm talking about him, Heath Ledger. His last, I believe that was his last Batman or Joker movie, you know, where all these, where him and a group of guys, this is all a stunt. This is fictional, okay, are robbing a bank. There's 6 of them, all planned together, okay? They got it all timed, you know? Guy's standing, car pulls up, he jumps in. Another 2 guys are on a roof. You know, they slide down this, you know, this string into the top of the roof of the bank. Another few guys rush in the bank, okay, with their, you know, weapons loaded, up, shooting up to the top. Everybody heads down. All of this while in motion. None of them realizing that the Joker is part of the 6. And one by one, they all get taken out. And the last man standing is the Joker. You see how we go full circle? I'm tying it in. But the guy that's standing behind him, so there's 2 men left, 4 have been taken out. It's the Joker and this other guy. So he says to him something about a bus like running over someone. And the Joker said, like this one, and the bus backs up through the front of the bank and runs him over. And then the Joker rips off his mask and he's got all the money. Okay, so that is a movie. And my analogy to Danielle Robertson will back up the bus, run over her revengers. It's all about winning. It's all about winning. Now, if you say that's a lie, that she said it's all about winning, then I have that receipt too. That means anything. She said nothing is off limits. And that was simply an analogy. Okay. So let's go back to this. How are we doing with time? 48:56. Okay. So this individual reached out to the attorney here in this statement, made an effort. They say, or he says, this reinforces my concern that Ms. Robertson may be engaging in fraudulent activities, falsely claiming legal representation in an effort to intimidate or stall the legal proceedings. Her MO. Yeah. Again, all alleged. But how many people have said they've tried to contact? Here's the phone number. You can find out. The next paragraph. Ms. Robertson, and this is part of the description of the content of the counter notification. Ms. Robertson initially claimed that she had permission to use my copyrighted content. However, she later contradicted this claim by stating that her use of the content is protected under the fair use doctrine. It is crucial to point out that fair use does not apply in this instance. Ms. Robertson's use of my content was not for educational, critical, or transformative purposes, which are generally protected under the fair use doctrine. Instead, the content was used to defame and harass an individual which not only negates any claims of claim of fair use, but also constitutes a violation of both copyright and defamation laws. Again, I am reading from the CCB. This is the amended portion of the claim as recent as yesterday, 10/23. Misrepresentation occurred in the counter notice. The claimant replies, yes, words that made up the misrepresentation and explanation of the misrepresentation. They write, first, I was given permission to use the content by the copyright owner. Description of harm suffered and relief sought. The harm suffered: loss of revenue, damage to the brand and reputation, market disruption, and emotional distress. I am seeking, first, injunction, a court order demanding the infringing content be removed from all platforms and prohibiting further unauthorized use of my work. Monetary damages, compensatory damages, including the actual damages and any profits the infringer made from using my content, statutory damages, $30,000 per infringement and or up to $150,000 if the infringement was willful. Attorney's fees and court costs, public apology or acknowledgement, requesting a public statement acknowledging the infringement and clarifying my rightful ownership of the content to repair any reputational harm caused. And then the documentation backed up included this Gmail that I read from only a portion from. When you click onto it, this is the string of emails, copyright, counter notification regarding that, YouTube describing to the claimant that they have 10 days that they received this copy or counter notification, which would have come by email through this attorney, this said attorney, and that they had 10 U.S. business days. Now, look at the date of this. It's dated September 15. Okay? So this individual is saying, how could they have even responded to this on the 7th of September when they didn't even file copyright against Danielle until around the 13th? Are they Houdini also? Or did they just backdate it so it wouldn't appear within this scope? Danielle has done fraud before. Danielle has impersonated people before. Danielle has lied before to YouTube. Danielle creates multiple burner accounts. Danielle creates multiple phone numbers. Danielle has, sent to my lawyer somebody named Lori Davis. Sometimes Danielle is this person. Sometimes Danielle is that person. Fraud upon fraud, more allegations of copyright fraud. Okay? And here is that counter notification that I read from the attorney in chief. Okay? Now, after that, on the 17th, came a response to the counterclaim of Danielle Robertson or Danny Robertson. That was by Wolfgang Bade here to YouTube copyright. Let me go ahead and read it. That'll take us right up to right around 11:30 to the hour being on. The response to the counterclaim of Danielle Robertson, Danny Robertson, fair use commentary. And you can find this on the Copyright Claim Board. You can search for cases under the name either Robertson or Body. Okay? You can refer right back to this document and you can look everything up for yourself. He writes, or this Wolfgang writes, I am writing in response to the counterclaim file by Danielle Robertson, YouTube user Danny Robertson, regarding my copyright lawsuit, which I filed, here's the date, September 13, 2024. So again, 1 week prior, September the 7th, this backdated, if that's the case, by an attorney who is alleged. If all this is not true, it stinks to high heavens. Upon reviewing the counterclaim, there are several critical discrepancies and concerns regarding the legitimacy of this response. First, the counterclaim is dated September 7, 2024, 6 days prior to the filing of my lawsuit. This timeline raises significant concerns of fraud and manipulation, as the lawsuit had not yet been filed by September 7, 2024. It would have been impossible for a legitimate response to exist at that time. I believe this discrepancy is a deliberate attempt to mislead the legal process, and I am currently in contact with the FBI to issue a subpoena duces to come to investigate this matter further. Moreover, I reached out to the attorney who was supposedly retained by Ms. Robertson, and they confirmed that they have no recollection of being engaged for this case. This reinforces my concern that Ms. Robertson may be engaging in fraudulent activities by falsely claiming legal representation in an effort to intimidate or stall the legal proceedings. Ms. Robertson initially claimed that she had permission to use my copyrighted content. However, she later contradicted this claim by stating that her use of the content is protected under the fair use doctrine. It is crucial to point out that fair use does not apply in this instance. Ms. Robertson's use of my content was not for educational, critical, or transformative purposes, which are generally protected under the fair use doctrine. Instead, the content was used to defame and harass an individual, which not only negates any claim of fair use, but also constitutes a violation of both copyright and defamation laws. Given the fraudulent actions and misrepresentation in this counterclaim, as well as the misuse of my content to engage in harassment and defamation, I respectfully request that this counterclaim be dismissed and that the appropriate legal actions be taken against Ms. Robertson for her conduct. I am awaiting further instructions from the FBI and additional legal proceedings regarding this matter. Sincerely, Philobos. Body. Okay. Let's go here. And if you see anything out there in the chat, let's find out what's going on here. Go to my email. That looks good. I did respond if you sent an email to me. That takes us exactly to 1 hour and 44 seconds. Okay, let me make a quick screenshot. Hang on, guys. Let's go for this one. Why not? Why not? Hang on. That's probably one of those, maybe trolls who needed to change their name. I'd say so. Let's do this. I have every right to comment on this. It involves the same person who is the common denominator. So, did you remove all those comments? I wanted to go to that channel. Or did you go and take a screenshot? I hope you did. So, again, take screenshots, go to the channel, verify it, and under the about and all of that. Okay. Hang on. Don't forget to subscribe to DForDanielle. If you want to, it's up to you. Let's see. Okay. Let's go back here. Throw up this coffee cup. Look at some of your comments before we wrap it up. Yes, please check out RunTellThatToo and the community wall. Join me later tonight when we come back. Go check out CNN and take a look at the excerpts, from last night. If not, go over and check out X. I'm on all social media as Unwind with Teddy. Okay. Tigerlicious says, just wow. This is definitely somebody who seems to be like a Danielle Robertson kind of a follower. They follow right in these footsteps. They're gross. Hang on. Yep. Hang on for a second. And yes, check out a true crime story, Louisiana 9, Partners in Crime, Unwind with Teddy True Crime on this channel. Hang on. There we go. All right, back to coffee cup. There we go. We have more people in the bushes, 73 in the bushes than we have, in the chat. And that's fine. You're watching me. Yeah. Let's see. Tigerlicious, good morning, says, so do I got this straight? Did she allegedly forge a document using a real lawyer's name? That is alleged to be true, yes. According to Villalobos' document here filed with the CCB, I read from the attachment of documents, and one came from a lawyer supposed to be there in Ventura, California, who wrote they were representing Danielle Robertson to YouTube copyright for her counterclaim. They signed it, considered an electronic signature. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining and supporting Unwind with Teddy. You are appreciated. Let's see if there are any other comments that I would like to read. And just shout out, we got Junebug Spirit. Yes. Okay. So that'll take us right through, right down. I see other comments. Spirit says Kimmy made it her our shirts. Uh-huh. Checkmate it. Exactly. Well, it's ongoing. Baby Juju. Hey. Fraud. That's what it is. Uh-huh. Let's see. Keep grinding 2000 says, attorney from California. That proves that Danielle most likely lives in California, allegedly. Now, allegedly, this is a fraudulent attorney as well. However, 2 years ago, there was someone who came in my chat that Danielle Robertson got super, super mad before she first struck my channel. That was in July of 2022. A person said that they could zoom in and tell her right where she was, and it was in California. That person said things are getting hot there in California. She got furious. She became furious. And she wrote in my chat, payback is a B. She rounded up some of her revengers to plot, and she impersonated Nosy Whole Life. Took down 35 of my videos. That was the beginning of the strikes against Unwind with Teddy. There have always been a suspicion that she has ties to California. Yes. A lot of people have ties to California. Someone that's tied to Danielle Robertson has ties to California. Raquel. Oh, there's a bunch of Simeons in California. Yeah. So, can she be connected to California? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would not be surprised at all if she has some type of residence or something connected to California. Yeah, this person can float. Yes, including Louisiana or whatever, wherever. I really think, and I'll say it again, that I've got the right family. Inside of that family exists Danielle Robertson. Who she is, well, we're going to find out. Whether she's Danielle Elizabeth, whether she's that bicycle lady, whoever she is, Danielle Robertson YouTube was serviced by the U.S. Marshals. She did not respond to the summons or the claim. Okay. So we'll find out. Right now, a subpoena has to be answered by Google by the 15th. And so maybe tonight we will talk a little bit more, but maybe tonight we will also talk about some of the highlights from Vice President Kamala Harris. Let's go back here. Yeah. Election day is only 11 days. That's why I'm going back here. There you go. All kinds of clocks. Yeah. I think that will do it for me, though. Biggest bear hugs go out to all the Grizzlies. Please hit the like on your way out. I didn't shout out Instagram. I see you over there, Freemasons. And Annette. Over on Facebook, a few of you over there. Thank you for watching this morning. And for those who are going to watch the replay, thank you. Whoever Charlene is, Danny does live in LA. Well, we will find out. Whatever that state she was driving to with the little boy in the background, that was Texas, I think. She did a quick one. Let's see. Keep grinding 2000. Well, we definitely know she has 2 kids, at least 2. The little boy on the back seat and the baby crying. Absolutely. Yeah. Great live, great commentary. Good day. Teddy and Mob Rip Runners. Yes. Keep your running shoes on. Maybe we need to show a receipt. Keep it grinding or keep grinding 2000. Yeah, she's connected to Texas. She's connected. Yes. Oh, there's something. There's something that I really want to throw out there. Spirit says, is a rolling stone. Wherever she lays, her hat is her home. Mm-hmm. Have a blessed day, you too, on a Thursday. But it's time to run, really. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Have a great rest of your morning and better afternoon. Okay?
So don't you tell me I am selfish just because I look out for myself. I've been happy, working hard, so I won't have to cry when I'm older. I could have done this or that. I remember when I used to. Don't do it 'cause it doesn't work. I'd rather tell you shoot your shots. I did it, so I know you got this. We're all living for manifest. You'll get your dreams, just do your best. So don't you tell me I am helpless just because I'm searching for myself. I've been high, working hard, just so I can say I told you so. I told you so. I don't need your approval to be myself. I got that on myself. Gracefully, gotta keep it cozy. I'ma take it slowly, one step at a time till my time is up. Why you stay mad at me? We gon' make mistakes, we gon' disagree. Are you so proud of me? If you just wait and see, you gon' rise. So don't you tell me I am selfish just because I look out for myself. I've been happy, working hard, so I won't have to cry when I'm older. I could have done this or that. I remember when I used to. Don't do it cause it doesn't work. I'd rather tell you, shoot your shots. I did it, so I know you got this. We're all living for manifest. You'll get your dreams, just do your best. So don't you tell me I am helpless just because I'm searching for myself. I've been high, working hard, just so I can say I told you so. I told you so.
I'm just waiting on her to ever say that I'm lying on her. I'm not a liar. People know that about me. They know that about me. I don't lie about shit.